You're a doctor?
Yes.
Okay. And you just did a service in Gaza? And how did they say it there?
They say Gaza.
Gaza.
But you can say Gaza.
Okay.
I was saying Gaza when I was there.
Yeah?
Yeah, it worked out.
Cool.
I came back.
What hospital were you stationed at over there?
So Naser Hospital.
Okay.
You probably heard on the news that it's the last functioning hospital in Gaza, and it truly is. There's other smaller hospitals, but they're really not functioning at a scale of a hospital.
And how do you get chosen to go there? You live in Milwaukee and you doctor out of Milwaukee currently?
That's right, yeah.
So you go through your own hospital to do it?
No, this has nothing to do with my hospital. In fact, I didn't even tell my hospital I was going.
You didn't?
I just told one of my colleagues. He helped me with my schedule. And I reached out to one of these organizations, and then they reached out back to me when there was a spot available. And they told me, hey, we got this spot available in 2 months. Are you willing to go? And when I got that invitation from them, I was on a plane back to my family. And I was like, man, how am I going to tell my wife, my kids, my mom, my dad? So that's all I was thinking, And landed. The kids were put to sleep, went to my wife, and I was like, hey, let's go have some cup of coffee. And I was like, hey, I have this opportunity. She's like, it's Gaza. And I was like, God, how'd you know?
She knew, huh?
She knew because, this has been going on for so long.
Yeah.
And I've been talking about it at work. I've been talking about it with my friends, what I would call, and many would call, a genocide, even though it hasn't legally been defined. I mean, it hurts, man. I found myself coming home from work, after a good day's work, but just unhappy. I was just like, man, there's kids dying out there, I'm taking care of these adults, with alcoholic cirrhosis, they made these decisions to their liver, for example.
Yeah.
But these kids, they are innocent, right? And then I come home and see my children running up to me, asking me to play video games with them, watch TV, have some snacks. I'm saying this dichotomy is so hard to reconcile. And so when I got this invitation, it was almost like this opportunity to decompress, if that makes any sense, in the war zone. And it's weird, right? It's like a paradox. Why the hell would you decompress in a war zone? But I almost needed to do something with my hands. And, I'm a proceduralist as a background in medicine, so I like to do things with my hand, right?
What does proceduralist mean?
Yeah, so I'm an interventional radiologist. I actually was the first interventional radiologist to go to Gaza in the world. And it's one of the newest specialties in medicine where we use image guidance to do basically minimally invasive procedures.
Okay.
So for example, historically, if you have a big, infection in your stomach, they would incise your abdomen open and drain the infection. So now we could just take a CAT scan and put a drain right through your skin into it. So instead of a 1 hour procedure, it's 5 minutes.
Okay.
And you don't have to stay in the hospital. You don't have to get sutures. And there's, you can basically take clots out of the arteries of the legs for diabetics. And it's a whole different specialty. It's actually the newest specialty in medicine. I think it was officially credentialed, in 2013 when I was graduating medical school.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to tell your wife, she signs off. How long after that are you on a plane to go to Gaza?
2 months later, I'm on a plane to Amman, Jordan. So you're still not, even though I got permission from my family, I have not gotten permission from the authorities that be. And you might ask who that is. So that's Israel. Israel makes all final decisions about who comes in and who comes out. As you know, international journalists are not allowed in. In fact, doctors are healthcare workers are essentially the only people allowed in, and even that is extremely scrutinized. So we had 22 applicants for this 2-week medical mission that we were on, and only 6 of us got in.
So you had 22 applicants. What do you mean? That just had applied for it?
Yeah, 22 physicians across the world for this 2 weeks were intending to come. And